Okay, welcome back. It has been a while, I think a few months, probably since April, if I remember correctly. So I want to welcome in Krista.
Hi.
How you doing? Thanks for joining us here in this hot July day.
No problem. Hey, Ghouls. Hey, it's
Right.
me, Krystale Noir, but you know me as Krista.
I met you back at Twisted Christmas,
Yes.
put on by Rick Creeper and Dark Alley Productions,
Yes.
which was a good time. Seems like a lifetime ago.
I
don't
know. It feels like forever ago.
Yeah, I don't know if we're ever going to get back to that normalcy again. Hopefully we can.
Yes.
You
Fingers
know.
crossed. Fingers and toes crossed.
Yeah, exactly. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Oh God. I feel on the spot. I'm a little timid, so don't mind me. So on Instagram, and people see me, they know me as Krystale Noir. They usually, like, when they see me around, like, oh my God, Krystale Noir, but my real name is Krista. So if anyone didn't know that, you know that now. And I do quite a few things. So Krystale Noir comes from, that's my burlesque name, and also kind of like my alter ego, because I'm in a group/troupe called the Black Veils. I also have an IGTV channel called What's Keeping Krystale Creepy and Kooky. I'm also a makeup artist and just a spooky boo.
Right.
So go to all the haunts, anything Halloween related. Also do modeling, and a lot of them are usually gothic or horror Halloween themed, because naturally that's what I get booked for.
Okay. And now the IGTV channel, has that been up as long as your profile's been up on there? Or is that something brand new?
That's actually newer. So I started it this year, and then with all the downtime from quarantine, I've been able to devote a lot more of my time to it, and it's doing really good. It's even surprised me, like having one of my videos already have a couple like thousand. I was like, okay, I guess this is a calling.
Yeah.
People do want to watch me. I'm entertaining. And then just some of the sponsorships that I've had have been really awesome, because being so new, having these brands have faith in me and, sending me stuff because they want to see me wear it,
Right.
and just like rep it for them is really cool and very humbling. I always get really like flattered when that happens. So
what happens? They just send you, well, you don't give them your home address, right? They just send you somewhere like a P.O. box? What do they send
I
you?
do need to upgrade to a P.O. box. I'm at the point now I can
Okay.
get a P.O. box, but yeah, I mean, sometimes, and if I've seen people in person, and they, give me a
Okay.
goodie bag of stuff, but I have been having stuff sent to my house.
Okay.
So I have to be a little safer about that now that it's starting to do better and take off. But yeah, like in the beauty world, there's something called like PR packages.
Okay.
So you receive one of those. Some people get in a list where they get sent free stuff. And then like one of the other companies that I got to do a video with and do a collab with was Veronica's Eye Candy, or Vera's Eye Candy.
Okay.
And that was really cool because she sent me some pieces she wanted me to try on and just show my body type wearing it, and that was just really cool and fun and exciting to do. And just to have, she gave me some beautiful pieces, and I'm just like always so thankful when that happens, because they thought of me, like the people who sent me this stuff, they thought of me, so it was really cool.
So when you try these things on, are there any reservations before you do that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's always a little bit of reservations, because we're human, and we all, natural emotion is rejection. So it's like, how if I put this out there and the backlash I might hear, especially for, being, a full-figured woman, with an hourglass figure, some people, they love it and they hype you up, and they're still trolls, quote unquote, online trolls, have negative things to say. So there's a little bit of a reservation, but I just really try to put my bad energy blockers on and just put it out there with the best intention, and just put all the positivity out there that I'm going to do good. I feel good in the makeup or the pieces or the things that I'm talking about. And I always share what I also feel passionate about and what I love. So I'm never sharing anything that I don't stand behind, or I wouldn't wear myself, or I don't personally use myself.
Okay.
Like, I had a video that was like my creepy current favorites, and it's all the stuff's my favorites. Like the body spray that I mentioned, I'm wearing it today. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm wearing an eye candy dress now. So if I stand behind this stuff, I'm proud to stand behind it and put it out there.
One thing I found during this pandemic and the shutdown and everything is it gives me even more time to work on my craft, on my editing, writing. Even, I haven't done the podcast in a few months, but outside of Rick's, but we did that on Zoom. But there's plenty of other things that I've been able to work on. And I noticed you said that about IGTV, that during this time you're able to focus. Now, you find you're more productive, or you have been more productive during all this?
Oh, heck yeah.
Right.
Well, it's just like, I'm someone like I love, yes, I love being social, but I love my solitude. So,
Sure.
and doing these videos are just me. So I get the time to devote to filming, putting a plan together of how I'm going to film things, and then, just editing,
Yeah.
I mentioned to you earlier today that I taught myself iMovie, and I give video editors so much credit. It is so hard. Like, I remember, I messaged my handsome boyfriend, Rick Creeper 11, and I was like, I taught myself iMovie. It took me hours.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my fingers were done, like, with, like, typing things out. Like, I was so over it, but I was so proud of myself.
Sure.
So now I taught myself it. Now I got to start editing the content.
Right.
So if I didn't have this downtime of quarantine, I don't know if I would have taught myself.
Right.
So, and I wouldn't be able to produce these videos.
Yeah, iMovie, I haven't used iMovie in years, but that's what I did learn on.
Mm-hmm.
And it helped me a great deal. I think it was
Yeah.
like in 2005, so there's been a bunch of iMovies since then.
Yeah.
So
It's
good
a
for
lot.
you. Good for
There's
you
still
on
so
that.
many things, and so many things to navigate on it that I still don't know. Like, I learned another way of how to like pan and turn it, and that I
Sure.
didn't know before. And I was like, oh, if I just do that, it does that. Like,
Yep.
just figuring it out for myself. And we have access to tutorials, which is
Yeah.
great. YouTube's a great platform, and it's basically like learning and education right at our fingertips. So I try to utilize it as much as I can.
Yeah, and you'll find, if you haven't already, that some of the best stuff you'll do editing wise is by accident.
Oh yeah.
You know, some of my favorite cuts, are by accident. I didn't mean to do that, type thing. So that's always fun. Speaking of Mr. Rick Creeper, you guys did a photo shoot. I believe it was for his birthday.
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about that and how that kind of escalated.
So yeah, we did this photo shoot. It was around the time of his birthday, and also around the time it became official.
Right.
So we were dating for months, but I actually asked him to be my boyfriend on Valentine's Day, and then we shot a couple days later. So that was really like a really special, sacred thing for us, because it was being creative together, dark and spooky and creepy, and then also around his birthday, so it made it even more special. And we basically just turned into these monsters, these wonderful Victorian classy monsters. It was basically like a gothic romance in a photo shoot. It was my first time doing contacts, like the
Okay.
whiteout contacts. That was interesting, but it was so cool to put those on. And then we put on our fangs that were from Vamp Fangs.
Vamp Fangs, yes.
And just when you pop those on, you put on the contacts, and we got airbrushed by the wonderful Jessica. I cannot pronounce her last name.
From Scream Team?
Yeah, right? She's from Scream
Is it
Team?
Scream Team?
She has sponsorship from Scream.
Yeah.
Sponsorship, okay.
She's lovely. So when you get all done up and you get to just be in this character, it was so fun, because we got to be ourselves and like display our love, but also through like a different kind of vessel, if that makes sense, because we were these characters in love. So we got to be Rick and Krista in love, but then we turn into these other characters, and he was like a phantom gentleman, and I was just like, I considered myself this like classy lady named Lucille that
Yeah.
was a vampire who goes back in the day, and it was just fun to do that, to
Yeah.
display our love in a different form, if that makes sense.
No, it does, because even as unnatural or as supernatural as you guys transformed yourselves into, it seemed natural.
Oh,
to me,
good.
you know
That's
what I
what we
mean?
were trying,
It seemed normal, like
yeah.
it's supposed to be. you know?
It felt like that on set, which was really cool. So it's really awesome to get it captured on film, and we'll have that for forever, which is really great too. So
Yeah.
it was a cool creative thing to do, and then just a great memory for us, because that's our first year of being together.
Okay.
And yeah.
So is there a difference between like that photo shoot versus any of the films you've worked on, or?
Yeah, I've done quite a few things. So I've done a couple modeling things, and I also work doing makeup too. Not the special effects realm so much. I do a lot more of glam or on-set movie makeup. Just natural beauty. That would be for TV shows or movies. And then I also do modeling. So I do quite a few things.
What about movies? And have you actually been on set?
Yeah.
And done movies? I like to hear about.
Yeah,
about
so I've
that,
done
actually.
3. One was a short film, and the other 2 were full length. The short film, I don't know where that is in the circuit. I know it's on a couple movie festivals, and then the full-length film that I did. The first one was called Steam Room Stories, and that one is on Netflix, I want to say. It's on Netflix.
Is that right?
Yes. And then the second one is actually really exciting. One of my really close friends, Erica, hooked this up, and me and her got to go on set. It was for Rob Zombie's newest movie, 3 from Hell. So we got to do pickup shots. So
and you did the makeup for the actors on pickup
yes,
shots? Okay.
Yeah. So we did the day of pickup shots, and I got to work with Emilio Rivera, which is really cool.
Okay.
So I basically did
Yeah.
makeup on a Mayan. How many
Right,
people
right.
could say that?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he was super cool. He was so nice. Really great experience, and just getting to work with Rob Zombie was awesome.
Yeah.
Like that was a big humbling moment for me, and just that was definitely a high point in my career I'll never forget, because I always just loved him and always has been inspired by him. I mean, I'm just a rocker mama in general. So,
Right.
and then I love horror, and he's just embodies all of it. And
Yeah.
I love his music, from White Zombie to Rob Zombie. So to love his music and how he is creatively, and then to watch him create is awesome. And he is
Right.
a cool person. Just to watch him behind the monitor, he's so involved. Even he came into the makeup room to watch how we're, grooming the beard, and just to make sure everything is how he wants it. Not in a way that's over managing or micromanaging, but
Right.
just to be involved in all aspects, not just sit in the chair and be like, are we ready? Come on. He wasn't
Right.
like that at all. He was very cool, easy to talk to.
Yeah, there's a great example of that actually on the first Halloween he did. There's a 4-hour DVD making of, and it's thorough, and it shows how
Yeah.
thorough he can be.
I think I saw that actually. Yeah, I know you're talking about. He's really thorough. Even when it comes to continuity and stuff. Usually it's makeup or wardrobe. We usually catch a lot of that.
Yeah.
Or script advisors, and he. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I keep hitting it.
Exactly.
He is just on it, and I really admire that about him, because he's really watching out for his work, and he's
Yeah.
really, really involved in the creative process, and I really admire that.
You are originally from the East Coast?
Yes.
Whereabouts?
Connecticut.
Okay.
Connecticut, not too far from New York, and I always specify that to people, because some people
Right.
don't know where Connecticut is. Or I've said oh, I'm from New England, and they're like, oh, is that in the U.S.? Is that in England? And I'm like, oh my God.
Right.
They don't know it's close to New York. So yeah, Connecticut, New York, because I have family in New York. So yeah, I'm initially from the East Coast. Still love my coffee and my Dunkin' Donuts.
Where's your family at in New York?
I want to say I still have two. I know I have an uncle in, I think, Brooklyn. I want to say Brooklyn. Actually, I just had one move to Philly too, so they're a little bit scattered over there, but mainly in Connecticut. It's amazing in the fall. The summers are humid,
Sticky, right?
sticky, and gross. I think snow is magical in the wintertime, but I don't miss shoveling out my car and scraping the windshield one bit. So that's what moved me out here to California. I prefer sunshine and palm trees. Because to me here in California, Southern California, feels like summer and fall all year round. We just don't get as much of the leaf changing as I'd like.
Yeah.
But it is really awesome up there for their history as far as spookiness and horror and Halloween. It's a little different from here. I think obviously because it's older. So, when you go to a colonial house that's preserved and, they made into a museum and they do a ghost walk through there, it just feels a little bit different.
Right.
Also, I go up to Salem as much as I can when I go over there to visit, because it's not too far at all, and I'm already over there. I love it.
What's Salem like? Can you just? Seems like you could feel the whole aura.
It's amazing. It's amaze balls. I'm so happy when I'm there. I usually too, and I've been there in the off season.
Okay.
And I've also been there September, October, when it's really spooky season for them. I always try to go earlier in the season, because it definitely can get a lot of people and oversaturated, where you can't even go into shops and function and enjoy it like a tourist or a visitor. It's just awesome and amazing. I love the vibe, and it's usually when I've gone, it's the changing of the leaves and the weather is crisp, and it's just awesome to be in an area, and everything or every other thing is spooky related. You have a psychic shop, and then your traditional souvenir shop with spooky stuff in the window, then a bookshop with all those spooky books up in front, and then another psychic shop, and then a clothing shop with all these spooky things, and it's just it's like a little Halloween town, and I love it.
What about the cemeteries out there?
Oh, those are so cool too. Every time I try to go, I try to get video and like pictures and just go to the witch house and the old cemeteries, and they just have their own charm and their own like peacefulness to them that I really feel connected to. I just love how aged they are and how much charm and character they have to them.
Right.
So they're magical in their own way than any other cemetery or graveyard out here, just different.
Older, right? The tombstones are a lot older, right?
Yeah, some of them are like so thin, they're like a sliver plaque. It's crazy. And I love going by like the witch house, and I mean, a lot of us have seen the movie Hocus Pocus, I would hope. I would think. Right. So just going to the different spots where they shot that movie is just also magical, because even if it's not Halloween time, like when I've been there on the off season, you feel it in your heart there, and that's the exciting part. You like, I know I leave there giddy, like, oh, I can't wait for Halloween in like 4 months, like it just has its own charm. It just gives you Halloween in your heart, in my opinion.
I'm trying to visualize what Halloween's going to be like now.
For this year?
Here. Is it even going to exist?
Well, I feel like, and this is one thing, I feel like Lisa Simpson on her podium, like, ready to give a speech.
Right.
I feel like Halloween's in our hearts, honestly, and if we have a year, we have to go back to basics of just carving a pumpkin at home with our family and watching spooky movies and lighting candles or a fireplace and doing caramel candy apples. That's, Halloween is simple like that, and it's in our hearts, so I don't feel like it's ever canceled. For anyone who says it's going to be canceled, okay, I'm going to be mad, it's only canceled if you make it canceled, but for me, it's never going to be canceled, and it's just what you make it, and to me, Halloween is just as great doing those simple things as it is doing the extravagant things. Yeah. So that's how I feel like.
Okay, that's a good way to look at it.
Do you want a tissue? I know that was emotional.
No,
I'm just kidding.
No, I'm glad that you share the same sentiment, because Halloween's just not one day. Because for me, when October comes, even when Halloween night comes, I'm kind of bummed out because it's over.
Bittersweet.
Right,
yeah,
it's over on the 1st, right? And so the build up to me, Halloween is pretty much every day. For me, that's look around, so
exactly. So it's like, it doesn't have to be like, people are entitled to feel how they feel. Their feelings are valid. If they feel like it's going to be canceled, that's on them. But I don't feel like there's just no way it could ever be quote unquote canceled. We might not have the big extravagant events, but it's still like always in here and what we do with it. And we have all month to come up with fun, cool activities that are also within regulations and safe, and go back to basics. Like years ago, all people would do was just carve pumpkins and watch movies at home and watch the TV special that was on cable, and that's really it. And they had a great Halloween doing that. Kids would just dress up and hang out at home. So we can go back to basics and still enjoy our holiday.
We don't even get a lot of kids over here anyway. They usually dies out about 8 something. But I'm still gonna decorate.
Of course.
I decorate for all that. I had Michael out in the front yard last year.
Oh yeah, my new boyfriend.
Yep, exactly.
Sorry, we're Creeper 11.
He was there. I had the laundry sheets hanging on the clothesline in the front. So
love it.
It's fun for me. Same with Christmas. I'm a big Christmas guy too. So
I love doing like a spectacular, whimsical kind of Tim Burton-y Christmas. I love traditional Christmas, traditions, but I always love putting a little bit of a whimsical, spooky twist if I can, whether it be in my ornaments or my decor. I always find a way. So
yeah,
I'm like Elvira meets Martha Stewart.
So I don't know. I guess most of the events are getting canceled. Monsterpalooza, Son of Monsterpalooza, Days of the Dead probably.
I know, it's heartbreaking. There is something to be said though when spooky season comes to an end. Everything goes discounted November 1st.
Right.
We can all look forward to that.
That's when you score the good stuff.
Right, exactly. Hold on to it for next year. Yep. I actually will get some of those things and use it into Christmas. So if I get a pack of spooky bows, or like Michael's will do Halloween ornaments, you get them discounted November 1st, and then you bring them out right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Good stuff.
So there's always a positive you can bring to it. So, and I totally feel for you. Like, it's bittersweet Halloween night, but I'm also like, oh, you know how much candy I'm going to get this week?
Yeah, exactly.
It's all going to go 50% off.
Good stuff. You mentioned Cherry Noir Vintage earlier. Before I forget, I wanted to ask you what that is all about.
So, Cherry Noir Vintage is something that I actually started late last year, and it debuted. It was like a soft debut at the Twisted Christmas event. And it's basically... how do I best describe it? It's like a I call it like what sweet nightmares are made of. I sell horror, Halloween, memorabilia, decor, VHSs, vinyl.
VHS.
Yeah, and I have a really big collection, and I have doubles and triples of things. I'm also a frequent flea marketer, thrifter, tag sailor. It's just something that I really always love doing. I'm an old soul in a young vessel.
Yeah.
So I just have pieces that I started to feel like could have a better home, whether it's like a Jaws vinyl of the second movie. I have 2 of them.
Yeah.
I can give it a better home, and I can sell it to somebody who's going to really appreciate it and might want to frame it. Same with VHSs, you know, when I'm sitting on 2 and 3 of the Tim Burton Batman, I'm like, I think I can sell some of these.
Right.
And I have like family back home who send me care packages, so I get really good goods that aren't easy to find here. So I just decided I'll make a little side business called Cherry Noir Vintage. And the noir comes from, you know, my name, Krystale Noir. And cherry is just kind of fun and flirty.
Right.
I always picture like a cherry with a jack-o'-lantern face in it. So it's basically just kind of like vintage reselling, but more of just in that horror Halloween realm. I'll kind of bleed into different things like, you know, Batman, like things that still kind of relate close, as long as it has like that vintagey feel that still kind of matches the theme. I'm not going to go way off and sell my Elton John vinyls.
Right.
You know, but I try to keep it in that. And like I have a pretty good stock of stuff. Like even some of my friends are like, before you put that out on the table, can you just sell it to me? You know, like, what do you got? Like, so that's kind of what it is. Goosebumps books and you name it.
All right, so you pretty much set up booths.
Well, I'm booked for Spook Show, but we don't know when that's going to happen. That's supposedly postponed.
Yeah.
So for Creep It Real, I'm going to be working with, I also work with another brand called Rock Rebel, one of my good friends, Monster Matt. Hey, he works with Rock Rebel, and he has his own company called Monster Island, which is dope. It's so cool. He has the best merch, and it's all like officially licensed good stuff. So me and him work together a lot. So sometimes, you know, it'll be his thing, and I can have like a Cherry Noir section of it. Okay. So I bring a couple of my pieces, and it's awesome because they flow well together. Yeah. And it's like different kind of merch. Someone can get a VHS and like a brand new shirt. So yeah, I'm supposed to be doing these kind of events, but the way things are going, who knows how many more we'll have the events for the year. So Cherry Noir might need 2021 to really take off.
Exactly. Speaking of Twisted Christmas, that ended the year on a high note, you know, what did you think of that?
I thought it was awesome. You know, I was really, really proud of Rick for putting that on. He did a great job, and I know all the stress and, you know, all the hard work it took to get that. So to see his vision come to life was really awesome. So I was really happy for him. Yeah. For my booth, it was awesome. I did really good business, actually.
Is that right?
And it's kind of like the same thing as me putting out these videos. There's always a little bit of reservation where it's like, am I going to set up and do this really cool setup and people don't take to it? Is this something that's just better to sell online? Should I just do eBay? Like, it's like putting out your baby, you know, and it's like kind of nerve-wracking, but it took really well. I sold some pieces. It made people happy. And I really like when someone touches something off of my table, like they pick up a vinyl or VHS, or someone bought Goosebumps books off of me, and they're like, I had these when I was a kid. I loved this one. I read it. And they buy it. And I just gave them back that memory, because that's how I feel when I come across these pieces. So I'm glad I got to give that to someone else and not just hold on to these doubles that I don't need.
Exactly. That was a good end to 2019. I've mentioned it before to Rick and a few other people that 2019, I started this podcast heavy because the end of 2018, I shot a couple of episodes. They didn't come out that great. So 2019, you know, I started to kind of get into it a little better. I met some really cool people throughout the year, including Rick. Yeah. And 2019 was memorable for me in the horror community. So I'm grateful for that, and it ended well, you know, Twisted Christmas.
It did,
Hopefully we get back to that.
And if 2020 is the year that we kind of get a little break, it's okay to recharge and recenter. And like I feel like I said, for Halloween, it kind of gets us back to the core of it. And the next year we'll appreciate it so much more, if anything, you know.
Did you hit the Queen Mary?
I did, yes. Last year was my first year doing it. Well, I'll just like let it be known, I'm a chicken shit. I've heard it before. They're like, if you're the queen of Halloween, how do you get so scared? I am embarrassingly Like, the way I get scared, people who don't know me turn around and they're laughing and they're like, "Are you serious?" I'm like petrified. It was an awesome experience. Just cool to be on the old ship, and something about like things that are older and have some patina to them.
Yes.
Oh, I just love it because it brings me back to my East Coast roots. And the mazes I thought they were great. Of course, my favorite was Feast because Rick was on it, and I actually genuinely got scared. My friend Monster Matt was also working Feast that same night, and he told me he never really breaks character. It takes a lot for him to break character. I got so scared and made such an embarrassing face while being scared. He broke character. That's how I.
And what did he laugh, or what did
he was laughing, and he was like, "Hey, Krista." He like shook my hand and then got back right into character because I guess I was so like, "Ah!" And he just like started cracking up. I'm sure that happens to, when you know somebody walking through and they're like being a scaredy cat, you know what I mean? But yeah, I thought the Dark Harbor was a lot of fun, and I'm glad I got to do it last year because, obviously it's not happening this year.
Dark Harbor, that was my first time there, and putting it in context with Universal, it was, to me, you get way more bang for your buck. It felt like Halloween, like the carnival atmosphere.
It feels like a Halloween carnival out of a movie. Like walking in, I was like you don't even know where to start. It's like over like stimulating. It's like, oh my god. It's so good.
Incredible, because I think that was after we did Universal, which was $180.
Yeah.
And this past year on Universal, I was just kind of like bummed out on it.
It was my first year at Universal this year too. I had a lot of firsts this last haunt season because also I've only been here for a couple of years in California, so I haven't done them all. So when I tell people it's my first year, they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "I didn't grow up here," and they're like, "Oh, okay."
Right.
So, which also is something to be said, the difference in like the convention scene here versus East Coast. But so I did Universal for the first time, Knott's for the first time, and Dark Harbor for the first time this past October.
So how do you rank those three? How would you rank those three based on your...
Oh man, I feel like Knott's, you get your bang for your buck, and it really feels like a fun Halloween night, like spooky night. So I really loved the feel of Knott's the most. That's the one that I like had the best night. I had the best night, and I was with Recreeper 11. We had the best night. We ate good, did mazes. I beat him in shooting zombies, all the good stuff. And then in Universal, I feel like that was also really great, and it was magical in its own different way because of the set production and like the value and how expensive, like all the stuff that goes into it. It's just amazing. Like it's like you're getting scared, but you're also wanting to like look at like this, what is it called, like the props and the monsters, like it's just so much to look at. That's so cool, and how intricate they are and how close to the movie some of them look. Like you're just like reliving a movie moment.
Right.
And especially me being like a Rob Zombie fan, I loved going through House of a Thousand Corpse. I'm like, I'm in the movie right now. This is so cool.
Yeah.
And then Dark Harbor gave me a different feeling because it just had that like really natural, eerie feeling. Without there being a haunt there, it's eerie. So you get a natural, eerie feeling, and then the fact that they have a spooky carnival, come on.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, Universal is incredible. The details and all that, but I think because I go every year, last year I had something to compare it to, and Dark Harbor was one of them.
Yeah.
And so comparing those two, relatively speaking, Dark Harbor to me was fresh for me too, so that weighs into it. But the price, I don't remember what it was, $40. I don't remember, 40, 45, whatever it was well better. Worth it.
Yeah. So was that your favorite one last season, would you say?
I only did the 2 last year, so out of the 2, that was
it.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, I'm saying Knott's my order. So Knott's, Universal, then Dark Harbor. Those are like my order of the 3. So.
So you've done conventions on the East Coast then?
Yeah. So not as many, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure they still have it, but they have one out there called Rock and Shock. It is the coolest thing. I wish we had one out here. Can someone make it happen?
So
hint.
what do you see?
It is a horror convention mixed with a rock show. Okay. It's so cool.
Right.
So they had like Danzig play.
Okay.
In one part, and then they have a horror convention in the the hall. Like, how amazing. You can either pick what band you want to see or go back to the convention hall and shop spooky stuff, do the meet and greets. So it is similar in the sense of like being like a, you know, a usual convention where you have all your booths and your vendors, but out here I've not seen a rock and shock kind of what's the word, format where it's like rock and roll meets spooky and Halloween and horror. It's so cool. Like, my last year I got to go before moving out here. Danzig played, and then they had Sully Erna there from Godsmack.
Okay.
So cool. I love Godsmack. So it was just cool. I got to, in one place, you know, see a rock show, meet Sully, and then go shop for some horror stuff, and then they have meet and greets with other, you know, people from horror movies.
Was it loud there? Was the music playing?
They had it separated enough where it didn't bleed, which
Okay.
is awesome. But yeah, it's cool. So we need one of those out here.
Okay. I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah,
but-
so it's pretty cool. But yeah, in the end, they still have their similarities. You know what I mean? There's still always the same kind of booth selling the same things, whether it's prints or shirts and all that stuff. But it's definitely was really cool to have those two worlds, like, you know, meet, and it works seamlessly in that event.
Yeah. So you moved out here, you said, what, a couple years ago?
Yeah, so 5 years ago now. So
5 years
5
ago.
years this year, yeah. So.
Are you regretting it at all? Or are you
No,
cool
not
with
one
it, or-
bit. No,
Yeah?
I feel like I really flourish here. And
Okay.
granted, there's a whole spooky scene on the East Coast. I feel like had I stayed on the East Coast, or if I ever go back, I'm going to go to Salem.
Okay.
Hands down. So
So do you get into the history of LA and Hollywood and
I've been
the
starting
dark-
to get into it.
the dark places and parts and
Yes.
stories of it? You
Uh-huh.
know, that's something I've gotten into over the years.
Yeah, I'm very fascinated with it, and I've been getting into it a lot more lately, especially with this downtime.
Yeah.
I like to sometimes just sit and educate myself on history, and Hollywood history, like old
Yeah.
Hollywood history has been so interesting and intriguing to me. Like, I was just like reading on this, like the story of you know, I Love Lucy, and like knowing that like Lucille Ball and what's his name,
Desi
Arnaz, like, you know, just like their history here. And then I learned they actually had gotten married out in Connecticut, and I'm like, was mind blown, because
Really?
I'm like, I lived in Connecticut and I didn't know that. Like, it's just so like, I just love all the different Hollywood history. And I know that's not like a dark story, but it's just really
Right.
cool how these things I learn and how it could relate to back home. And yeah, there's just so many eerie things that happen out here too.
Black Dahlia.
Yeah, so many, like, you know, obviously true crime stories.
True crime.
And for me, I do enjoy some true crime, and some of them do fascinate me. I'm not as heavily into it. I know it's a very popular thing.
Okay.
I just can't glamorize a killer. It doesn't work for me.
Right.
So some of it doesn't interest me as much, and then some of it does, more so in the fact of like, you know, if it's still unsolved and they're out there, that's when I get more like, whoa.
That's the intriguing part. I just
Yeah.
finished My Dark Places by James Ellroy, who wrote LA Confidential.
Oh,
and
cool,
a
okay.
slew of other books. Anyways,
Right
when he was
on.
10,
Uh-huh.
his mother was found dead, dumped at Arroyo High School.
Oh man,
that
how
shaped-
heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's still unsolved to this day. You know, 62 years later, it happened in '58, and so I just finished it, I think 2 days ago, and that helped shape him into the writer he's become. But that's another unsolved one that we're never gonna know, because they're probably dead, whoever did
Yeah,
it. You know,
it's just that really intrigues me. And I know like Netflix they brought back like Unsolved Mysteries.
yeah, yep.
I've been watching that and Supermarket Sweep. No big deal.
Supermarkets.
Yeah. But
So-
like I do get into them, you know. But it's also like not just like murder mysteries, like the ones about UFOs and stuff. Those also intrigue me. And
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned burlesque, dancing and stuff. Is that something you did on the East Coast first, or were you introduced out here?
I was introduced out here, and I went to the last year of Ink and Iron on the Queen Mary. Do you guys remember that? No? Okay. So it's kind of like this music, I think it's like this music meets like tattoo kind of convention. And I
Okay.
was new to California. I didn't really know anybody. So I was just
Right.
like, I just went to things that I thought might interest me. And they had these burlesque dancers dancing to like Tool and A Perfect Circle and all these like great rock
Yeah.
songs that I was like, I want to do that. I have to do that. And so that's how I got introduced to it. I saw this performance, and I started to take classes up in West Hollywood for a bit, and then I found a studio down in Long Beach where I was living at the time, and I started my first year here started training. So I've been, I guess, training 4 or 5 years now, and I've been with a group for 3 years, and the group is called the Black Veils. And we all wear black veils when we perform, and we all have Noir with our name. So that's why I'm Krystale Noir. We have a Ruby Noir. We have a Coco Noir.
Okay.
And our group is kind of like a dark, sultry group. It's a little... Sometimes at different shows we get booked for, we go a little bit more traditional vaudeville, and then a lot of it's just to newer songs that people know now. Each of us have our own persona and our own style. I guess I'm the little vamp of the group.
Okay.
So even when she introduces me, she says that the resident, goth. So it's cool because we all get to come together with our own different styles and personalities, and we all look so different. And then we have like our solo numbers. We can really be ourselves, and usually I try to pick as close to rock as I could get, or a cover of like a rock song or something. I go definitely vampy, and it's a lot of fun. You
build a character for yourself when you're up there?
Yes. So it's not too far from me, but I get to just be a little bit more daring, do things that you wouldn't do with a person you don't know.
Right.
Because our show's also interactive, so we can go out into the crowd and pull somebody, go dance around them with a prop. So for me, I like to do a lot of go up to someone and lick up their face, and you think I'm gonna bite them like a vampire. Right. You know what I mean? So, or we go up and feed them a shot or whatever. It's fun because I get into that alter ego, and then it's easy to pull back to me because they're not too far. I just get to have more fun with Krystale Noir, and I think that's why even going to the events and people have seen me as Krystale Noir, and they're like, "Oh, you're Krystale Noir. Can I have a picture?" I just have fun just staying in that even for those shows. I get to have fun and also be a little daring at the conventions and have a good time and meet people. And usually they end up finding out my name is Krista, and it doesn't matter. Same thing. I'm really close. So
right. We did mention this a couple seconds ago. What are the Halloweens like on the East Coast where you're from versus out here? Well, weather-wise, it's got to be totally
it's definitely different. I mean, as kids, sometimes we can wear our costumes to how they're supposed to be, and sometimes you have to put on a turtleneck and mittens because it's cold. How many times we're like, "Oh, Dad, I don't want to wear this. It's I'm supposed to be a gypsy, and gypsies don't wear turtlenecks." So it's different in that sense. It's just also really cool to go trick-or-treating as a kid, and it's like what you see in the movies with the leaves falling, and it's crisp in the air, and you smell all the chimneys and all the fireplaces. A lot of people do bonfires in their yard, and kids walk up, and they're just...
That's beautiful.
So, and just even too, it's such, you go back to school, and it starts getting crisp in the air, and, first, second week of September, we bring out the tote of Halloween decorations, and it's when you're decorating and there's already leaves on the ground, it's just such a feeling and a vibe that you can't replicate here. You can try, but it's not exactly the same. And definitely it's very magical, and especially going trick-or-treating to some of these colonial houses. I remember as kids, some of them would really get into, they wouldn't do as many walkthroughs. They would do more I guess it's a walkthrough, but it's more of a walk around. So they would do these setups where you walk around their wraparound porch, or around the backyard, and they have a setup. And to some of these houses, they wouldn't have to do much because they're already spooky and colonial looking. So it's literally, let's throw up some spider webs and lighting, put a couple little scare actors. They'll have pile of leaves and someone hopping out, and that's it. And honestly, sometimes less is more because that still worked on all the kids. You'd hear them screaming down the street and all the fog rolling out because, the house has the fog set up. So it had a similar but still a little different feel because it naturally has that age and patina to it where it's cool.
Okay. So where did a young Krista start getting into Halloween? What was that about?
So I can't full on remember it, but because I was so little, but my dad tells a story. There's 2 variations. There's little toddler me with my little pacifier in my mouth, my passy, and I think that's what you guys call it here too. And then with my little teddy bear in my hand, and my dad would watch Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
And it would come on the whole beginning where the Crypt Keeper comes shooting out of his his casket, and he just does his creepy laugh, and I would sit there and like watch it and like just be like sucking on my pasty like into it like a oh my gosh, from The Simpsons, baby, what's the baby's name from The Simpsons? Oh my god, I'm blanking, and I'm such a like Simpsons junkie. But literally like the baby from The Simpsons, you know what I mean? Just sitting there on my pasty like enjoying it. Or he would pop out of the casket, the Crypt Keeper, and I would just be like a little girl screaming like, ah! So that was, I would say, the start of it for sure. Okay. So that just set the way for me being spooky, watching Tales from the Crypt as a little one. Like Barney came to my birthday party and I was petrified, but then the Crypt Keeper was on TV and I was like, this is cool.
Yeah, I'm at ease. I'm at ease with that, right?
And I mean, just the, like I was, saying about trick-or-treating on the East Coast, just being exposed to that, we had really cool Halloween, like really wicked Halloween experiences as kids. So it's so hard for it to not stick as you grow up, because it was just so wicked awesome for us. We had a really awesome Halloween seasons and trick-or-treating and that traditionalness, and it definitely lends a hand to why I love like vintage Halloween style now. That's like one of my favorite decor avenues to go when I'm decorating for Halloween. I love a vintage feel.
Okay. So when you came out here, did you find it hard to adapt, to find a crew that was into the same, or to find the same crowd, or did you just find your way naturally, that was into the same type of things?
It happened pretty organically for me. I started to slowly meet friends that were into it, and then we just kind of I just kind of started figuring out things even just on my own. I've gone to some things like solo. I remember I almost went to Midsummer Scream solo, and I was like, oh, whatever. This definitely seems like it's up my alley. I'm not going to miss it because I don't have anyone to go with, Right. So, organically I started to meet some people, and I mean, honestly, I'm friends with still all of them 5 years in, the ones that I met in the first 2 to 3 years of being here. So it's really cool. Horror Halloween can really bring people together. I was actually telling Rick about this. I feel like the horror Halloween community, we're all like misfits in our own little way, because what we like at some point, I know I felt like this on our life, was kind of like frowned upon, or a little bit like, oh, you're weird. So we have this common thing we all like, so we can all come together and have fun with it without any judgment, judgment-free zone. We go to these events, no one's judging, or I hope not. Right. I don't tolerate bullies. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's really cool to find your niche here and have fun with it. God, I remember in middle school on MySpace days. Oh, MySpace. I would always have my layout full-on fall Halloween themed. I'm like, it's fall time, I'm doing like fall leaves in the background, and I remember being picked on by this girl on the bus. She was like, that's so corny, why would you do that, and just being picked on for little stuff like that. So it's just really awesome to be in a community where we all embrace our love for this season and this holiday and this genre, and we can come together about it. Yeah, and keep it going year round too. Exactly. So organically, I feel like I definitely found my niche and my friends here, and I'm always like, more the merrier. So more ghoul friends, the better. Yeah. Have you been down to Sugar Mint? I have not. So I've driven past it to see the Myers house, but I have not done any of the events in it or have gone yet. I really want to. Did you, have you gone? Yeah, I went with Rick. Yeah. Oh, good I see what's going on. That's where he's going. Late at night. Just kidding. No, we went and watched the original Halloween. Oh, awesome. There, and it was incredible. It's even more magical there too. Yeah, because we're looking at the screen right there off their building, and then to the left is the Myers house. It's just surreal. What a dream. That's awesome. It was great. 2019 was incredible for me. Yeah. Just nostalgic, the nostalgia alone from that year was great. So the Sugar Mint Gallery, I've been there a few times. They had some cool exhibits here and there. So I've seen some of the events for them. They have some cool things that they run there. I definitely would love to go. Apparently they're still open now during all this, but you gotta stay separated and maybe all that. We can sneak in, try to go before, hopefully it doesn't close back down, or it's so unsure nowadays. We don't know what's going to close back down or what's going to stay open, and so that's also like I have on the list. I really want to go to Mystic Museum. I know they had the Slashback video exhibit. I don't know if it's still going, if it's closed or whatever, but there's those things it's like I want to try to go to if it's still open. Where's this at? Burbank. Is that right? Off Magnolia, the Mystic Museum. Yeah. It's across from or nearby the Halloween Town store, which is also magical. Please tell me you've been there. Oh yeah, I went there they had a Haunted Mansion art exhibit there. I went one time. So they had a lot of the artists that
came up with the drawings you'll see inside, the paintings and stuff. It was on exhibit there. It was incredible. And I met Wayne Toth there. He's the one that created the mask for Zombies Halloween.
Oh,
got a picture with him and talked to him.
Awesome. I bet you were loving it. That must have been a dream come true for you.
Yeah, it was nerd time for sure.
Oh, yeah.
That was great.
And that's the fun thing about these. We have to all go and, like, geek out together. Some events you leave there and you're like, that was the best day ever. Yeah. Like, for me, like, I don't really get starstruck. Being someone that works on film, I'm sure you feel the same. But then there's a select few. There's, like, 3 to 5 people that I'm like, if I get to meet them, I might geek out a little. So that's why even working with Rob Zombie, I was like, hold it together. You're a professional. But like when I met Elvira, I froze. I'm not going to lie. I met her at the first Scare LA I went to, and she was in the full Elvira getup. It wasn't Cassandra.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was one of her last years doing that.
Wow.
And I froze up bad. I went with my friend, and my friend Erica was making her laugh. They were shooting the shit, and I was like, I love you.
I got to see her show at Not Scary Farm.
Me too.
I
saw it twice that night.
Yeah.
I had her brochure in my hand, and I was like fanning myself, like tearing eye a little bit. I'm like, this is happening. And it's so cool because I ended up working on one of the films I worked on. One of the actors in that film was one of her background dancers.
Okay.
So I was talking to him. He's like, yeah, I worked on one of her dancers in the Not show. I was one of them. And I was like, oh, so I just saw you a few months ago dancing, and now I'm doing your makeup on set. Like, it's so crazy how that happens.
Yeah. Is she not there? Is she still do that, or?
From my knowledge, no. She wasn't doing the show last year. I think it's done maybe for now. Maybe she'll come back. But, yeah, it was amazing. And also being a performer, a burlesque dancer, I really could, like, appreciate it. Because I know how hard it is to get in those outfits and to do choreo and to be out in those lights. And I mean, she does a tassel dance. Okay, that's hard.
Yeah. So I saw her probably, it had to be in 03, 04. I didn't even know she still did it.
Yeah.
Knots now. I talked to her at Monsterpalooza, and she told me she dated De Niro.
Oh, awesome.
She told me that she dated him before he was huge, before he was De Niro back in the day. So I was like, oh, okay.
That's awesome.
Good for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think I read somewhere, God, okay, don't quote me.
Yeah.
This is just like from all the things that I try to educate myself and like the history I like to read on people that I find intriguing.
Yeah.
I think when she was younger, she actually had like an interaction with Elvis, but she was like too young and it wasn't legal. And I'm just like, oh, that's like a couple goals. Like, don't get me wrong, Priscilla and Elvis are everything to me, but Elvira and Elvis, it's a wrap.
Right.
But it's funny too, we're talking about Elvira because when I was in Salem, I went to Count Orlok's gallery, and the owner there, James, who's awesome, I interviewed him, and he also has like a love for Elvira. And I asked him, I said, what would be like a dream like guest to have here, like at the gallery for a signing? And he said he would love to have her. And I'm like, God, I would fly back for that in a heartbeat. So yeah, and that gallery is just amazing within itself, and to have her there would be amazing for like a day of signing and whatever she would do. So
yeah, that's incredible. She's got to be in her 60s now, right?
Yeah, she looks great.
Yeah, she does. For sure. So tell us about your shoot yesterday.
So yeah, I did this really awesome photo shoot yesterday. One of my good friends who actually met on set, who's a script advisor and a director, he took up photography not long ago, and he's really good. His name is Michael McLome. I can never pronounce it. I'm sorry, Michael. Love you. He shot me and one of my best friends, Natalie, and we did our own version of the Grady twins from The Shining. So me and Natalie also danced together. We're in black veils, and we don't look completely alike, but we have some similarities, like in our silhouette with the long hair, brunette hair. So it's still like we look different, but still kind of cohesive. So we did this shoot of being, the Grady twins with the dress holding hands. And since we had like quite a few hours in studio time, we did that. And then we just transformed. We did a like Morticia kind of gothic shoot. So we had fun doing that. And like a lot of the shoots I usually get are more in the gothic vampy realm. Also modeling. So it's also a lot of fun because I can also be Krystale Noir in that and be the vampy, more daring me
What was the backdrop for the Grady twins?
So we didn't get the hallway with the runner, which would have been awesome, but it's okay.
Right.
It was this gothic setup living room. And it was just cool because like it was like a matte black wall with all like the frames. I don't know, like a wall is like flat, but they have little what is it called? Indents. Not indents, but like framings that come out. I don't know what I'm trying to.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
But
Yeah.
it's just really cool and gothic-y looking. A lot of texture to the wall. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And then the other part of it is like old like candelabras and like sconces with candles on it. Very gothic-y. When we had the candles burning and they were dripping over like roses, like dried out roses, gothic furniture.
Okay.
So it wasn't the exact shining like location, but it was still a cool gothic feel. So I hope people like it.
Yeah. When does that come out?
Hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll see the photos. We did wear Trick or Treat Studios dresses, the
Really?
actual official licensed one, because we wanted it to be legit. There's two ways it could go.
Okay.
Legit and actual, like the dresses like the twins wore, or the cheap slutty versions. And we didn't want to do that.
So you went with
we
the
went
Trick
more,
or Treat Studios.
Yeah, we want to try to go more authentic. We have some shots in there that are still fun and playful and flirty, and Krystale Noir gets to play with those, but then the rest are that really dead in the eye. It's just looking forward. Which I will say, modeling, being dead, after a while, I really started to like shift back and forth and rock a bit, because you just start getting like just blank.
I didn't know Trick or Treat Studios had those dresses.
They
That's
did.
pretty cool.
Yes, they do. Yeah. So, and it just makes it even more special to have that, because it's licensed, it looks really authentic. They put the picture of the Grady twins next to this dress, everything, all the ruffles, the lace, it looks so much more authentic opposed to like the other competitors' versions.
Yeah.
So, but we still made it our own too. Like we didn't have, the same exact like makeup those young actors had, we had our own versions, but it was still cool to get close to authentic for us as we could.
I'm a collectible person myself.
Really? I would not have guessed.
Yeah. I don't really show it off too much, but
No big deal.
No big deal at all. But you mentioned some of the stuff that you sell.
Yeah.
Any stuff that are keepers for you?
Oh, I have so many
collectible-wise?
that are not going anywhere. One of my biggest pieces that hits my Instagram a lot,
Yeah.
I have a life-size cutout of Elvira and Frankenstein. It's an old
What?
Coors Light ad, and it says Malibu Beach.
Okay.
And it's just an old advertisement piece. It's so special to me. It's wicked cool. And I'm never letting go of that. And people usually like see it, they're like, oh, this is so neat. So that's a big one that I have that I worth a pretty penny. And then I have like an older Halloween Michael Myers figure I really wish I brought to show you from the first movie.
Really?
It's what's the brand of it? Remember the old brand of the you read it. Sideshow, yeah. Is that what it was used to be called?
It used to be called Sideshow Toys.
Yeah.
And then it became Sideshow Collectibles like early 2000s.
So yeah, it's a Sideshow Toys, right?
Wow,
So
okay.
it has the old name of that, and it's off of the 78. That's when it came, the 78 movie. And it's a figure of him with and it's him in there, and he's like kind of posable, and then it has the sheet to put on to make him the ghost with the glasses.
Nice.
So it's an older piece. It's a cool figure. I got that. I actually had a friend on the East Coast. I don't know if he still does it, but you ever hear of like Storage Wars?
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of did that. He'd buy storage units, and he'd get the ones with the spooky horror Halloween stuff.
Yeah.
He called me up. So wish I had that connect here.
Nice.
And so I'd get these really cool pieces from him, and I got Elvira that way, my figure, my life-size cutout, and that Michael Myers, and unfortunately it was opened, but it's still like new, so it's probably devalued a little bit because it's open, but it's still in great condition. I have some really awesome vinyls and like Laserdisc, so I have like Hitchcock's The Birds, a Laserdisc of that.
Oh, wow.
Child's
Nice.
Play, and granted I don't have the Laserdisc player. It's just really cool to hold that in my hands, and I really, really love horror soundtrack vinyls, original pressings.
Okay.
Yes, the newer ones are great for like the artwork and stuff, but something about the crackle and an old vinyl, it just like
Yeah,
Gives me
there's
goosebumps. It's more magical to me.
As you know, there's a market for that. I know a few cats that collect those as well.
I got some really cool pieces
Laser
for
discs
sure.
and
Yeah.
vinyl.
So, God, I have like Rosemary's Baby original pressing on vinyl. The Trick or Treat, not the Sam Trick or Treat, but like that rock horror movie with Ozzy in it.
Wow.
That one's worth quite a bit too. I have a couple of they're like old fashioned like Halloween party vinyls that people would play at their Halloween parties, where it's like sounds of like crackling leaves and wolves howling, like from the 70s, and they have the old price tags on them for being $2.99, and they're definitely worth way more than that now. And then also the old like storytelling vinyls, and just some of the monster mixes too, where it's like Elvira's Halloween hits on vinyl. So not as old, but still older. And it's, has like Monster Mash and, all the older Halloween party hits like Thriller, all those on there. So I love my vinyl Halloween horror collection. Like I think I have some really good gems. I'm trying to think what's some other big, I have this really cool VHS collection. You would have appreciated.
Yeah.
It's Halloween 1, 2, and 3 on VHS, but it's in a box collection from Blockbuster.
Oh.
So Blockbuster releases this special box with all 3 horror movies separately. And the box has the box art that carries all 3 is Michael Myers, and it's like a special like artwork, and it says like Blockbuster all over it. It's pretty.
That's pretty cool. That's gotta be.
You would geek out over it. And I love Halloween 3. I love that movie. So it's cool to have the special Blockbuster edition, very nostalgic, to be a kid renting it and now like have that box collection that they would sell. All my Treehouse of like horror collection, I love that. I have a lot of those toys from Burger King from when I was a kid, and then I've bought more as I gotten older, but it's still cool to have a couple pieces from when I got my kids' meal.
Damn.
And trying to think. Oh, I have some board games as well from when I was a kid that I'm happy I saved. I have an old-fashioned like Goosebumps board game. I have Goosebumps board game. I have an old Nightmare on Elm Street board game from like the 80s. It's really cool and retro. It's actually really funny because at Mystic Museum they had Goosebumps and Tales from the Crypt exhibit there, and they had a bunch of old toys and stuff, and I was looking at it, I'm like, hey, I have those. And it's cool they have them like displayed as like these collectibles and part of the exhibit, and I'm like, they're sitting in my room, like, so I'm like, good thing I saved those. Being like a monster kid, so monster kid for like ever, basically. So yeah, I think those are like top pieces I can think of. I have definitely a lot more. I do some of the Funko Pop collecting as well. And I collect my favorite horror Halloween babes, or like girls of like the genre. So like I have the Morticia, Elvira, Bride of Chucky. I try to just stick to like the females, because once I start getting, if I get Michael Myers and like Chucky, I will get the rest of them. And then
it's gonna open it up to other,
I don't want to open up that can of worms. So just I kind of gave myself my own little sub-genre within the genre.
Yeah, that's smart, because as you can see, it just starts.
It gets expensive,
flooding out, and you start getting a bunch of other ones, and
and I mean other little things too. I still like flea marketing and tag sailing. Me and Rick Creeper do it up, and we've found some cool, famous monster magazines and some cool gems that you could find that someone else is selling. You always just got to take a look at, a tag sale. They usually put out tarps and they just lay out stuff. You just never know. I went to this one estate sale in Long Beach, and they had like old Beetlejuice comics, like old.
Wow.
And the lady loved me so much. She was so sweet, and I had a Love Paint and Stitches purse, and she's like, you're just so cute, you can keep it, you can have it. And I was like, okay. She gave it to me for free, and I went home and looked it up, and I think it's worth a couple $100. I don't think she realized what she gave me.
Wow.
So it's just like there's always little gems that you can find, and a lot of them find me. Like, he's been shocked at the stuff that I've found, like, that just come to me. Like, we were at a flea market, and there was this little Marge Simpson dressed as like a witch, little figurine on a table across the way, and I like looked, and I was like, Marge, and I ran over and spotted it from a mile away.
Yeah, that's good.
So yeah, I call it, excuse me.
That's all right.
I call it like treasure hunting. It's my favorite thing to do. So if I can make it in part of like something I can make money off of too, and make it a career, part of my career, that'd be awesome. So let's see if Cherry Noir comes to fruition in that sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yard sales too, by the way, or you can find some hidden gems.
Oh yeah, I love a good yard sale. So
Yeah.
definitely I have found some cool things at yard sales, and some
Yeah.
people sell things like blow molds, Christmas and Halloween ones that, yes, I love seeing the worth of things, but they're just things you're not going to find in the stores that it's just so great to be able to grab at a tag sale for like $15.
Those are the plastic ones, right?
Yeah.
I've been searching high and low for a Santa with 8 reindeer, which you can see on Christmas Vacation, National Lampoons, and I can't find them anywhere.
Well,
Those
now
molds.
that you told me, I bet you I'll find it for you.
If you find it, let me
I
know.
will let you know.
But they got to be the ones that are, kind of big, and I can probably put it on the roof.
Okay.
It's on National Lampoons. He
Okay,
has
yeah,
it
I
in his
remember.
front
Yeah,
yard.
I love that part in the movie where he finds I think it's his wife's Christmas gift in the
Yeah.
attic.
Yep. I was watching it yesterday. I have it on Vudu, but I just run that. I run a lot of Christmas stuff.
I noticed
as
when
well
you
as-
had Krampus playing when I came
Yeah.
in studio.
Yeah, I love that time of year, Halloween and Christmas.
Yeah.
So I try to keep it alive here. Polar Express,
Oh,
to Krampus,
love
yeah, all that
that.
stuff. So
So now that you told me, and I actually have I love when people give me a project of something to look for and
Yeah.
I find it for them. One of my friends, she's like, if you can find this, because I know you're good at finding stuff,
Mm-hmm.
it's a mission for me and I enjoy it. I just love the treasure hunting. That's what I call it. I enjoy it so much, and I found stuff for her that she's looking for. It's crazy.
and I've searched like Let Go, OfferUp, eBay. I mean, I can't find them anywhere. So
Well,
if you ever come across it,
I'll let you know for sure. We'll take a picture and send it over. And
All right.
also because I think it's my connects I also have with the East Coast too. Sometimes I'll get like a text like, hey, I found this and that. Want me to send it to you? Or do you want me
Yeah.
to hold it till you visit next? And I'm like, yes. Or a friend who's like, hey, I know this video game store that sells VHSs. They have a good horror collection. When you get here, I'll
Right.
take you. So I'm fortunate enough to kind of have both sides finding gems at, and I can I've brought some of that to put into Cherry Noir. So
Okay.
some cool VHSs that were really obtainable for me to find over there, no problem, to find here. Because going to Goodwill here is a lot harder than it is over there.
Yeah.
Especially for like Halloween stuff. I go to Goodwill's over there and they have blow molds coming out the yin yang, right? All the old pails, so easy.
Wow.
You go to them here, you find one, you're like, oh my god, because it's I think a little bit more known here, and maybe I feel like here doesn't have as much of the old merchandise as there, so it gets picked over quicker here. We're there's so many old homes that people are like, just get rid of it,
Sure.
donate it to Goodwill. I don't
Yep.
want to see it,
Yep.
and it's like gold for me.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. If you can be on the lookout for that.
I got you covered.
So-
That ever anything, if it's a vinyl, VHS, a certain book, you let me know. I can keep an eye out for it. Okay. Side note too. So Cherry Noir does not have an IG yet. I really like to do it more in person because I feel like when you're doing vintage goods, yes, eBay you can find stuff, but something about holding it to me really does make a difference with certain items. And I like giving people that feeling when they hold something. So as of now, it's going to be a lot of more at the events you'll be able to find Cherry Noir vintage. In the meantime, I did it before and I'm going to run it again. I do an IG auction on my story.
Nice.
So I'll run it on my personal IG, which is at Krystale Noir, KrystaleNoir. That's Be Cool Friends. So what I do is I just run it on my story. I post pictures of the items and I have an asking price. I accept offers on everything. And then I usually just accept PayPal and whatever, and I can send it out to you. So that's a way if anyone did kind of want to shop Cherry Noir, it's going to be available on Instagram where I'll have a highlight for it, or in person at these events until maybe I'll get an Instagram or a website. We'll see. But I definitely like the in-person feeling more. And some things just aren't things you can send. I'm not going to send out a blow mold. It's too big and
Right,
it's going to be
right.
way too, it's going to cost someone way too much to bid on it and then get it sent out. I'd rather just do that in person. But some things like vinyls, books, I've sent out. I remember I put a listing. I put it out there for Young Frankenstein on vinyl, and just instantly I had a DM like, "I'll take it for this much." Done, easy. That was easy to send out.
Yeah.
So that's just for listeners. If anyone was interested, or if they had a certain item they wanted to inquire that I might have, feel free to DM me. I don't bite. I'm friendly.
Okay.
I
Okay.
gotcha.
Cool. Well, look out for Cherry Noir Vintage.
Yes,
Or
Cherry Noir Vintage. Yep.
Cherry Noir Vintage. And I want to thank Krystale Noir for coming by.
Thanks for having me. Until next time, sweet nightmares.